Ah yes, the Toyota Vios. If you don't own one, chances are you know someone who does. And chances are you've probably ridden in one of these already when you hail a ride-sharing app. So we've tested this before, but why are we testing another Vios? See, this is the XE model, and Toyota says it's packed with value. We'll be the judge of that. Before we see just how value-packed this car is, well, let's take a look at the exterior first. And I've said this before, I think the new Vios looks pretty handsome for what it is. I said it with the 1.3e model. I like the shape of the headlights, I like the general shape of the car, I like its swoopier styling even, compared to the previous gen. I always thought the previous gen was a little bit on the bland side. In XE trim, I can tell you a list of things that it doesn't have, and you can immediately tell an XE from an E pretty easily actually. Like, you don't get fog lights, you don't get LED daytime running lights. Granted, the E doesn't have them too. You get less chrome, you don't get painted door handles, you don't get painted door mirrors, you don't even have alloy wheels. Yep, this is pretty basic transport from the outside, but there are those people who don't really mind looking basic. Oh, and before I forget, you don't even get an alarm. All you get is this key actually. But at least it has central locking, right? So what do you get inside the XE? Well, okay, let's put the key away and talk about the touchscreen. It actually has Bluetooth and auxiliary and a USB port, so it's not totally barren here. You also get a seat height adjuster, which is greatly appreciated, and your steering wheel can be adjusted, although it's only for up and down motions. You can't really pull it towards you. You get power windows, which is always good for the driver's side, and that's up and down automatic. Everyone else has to hold their finger to put it up or down. But really, it's spec like a 1.3e actually. You just don't get the steering wheel controls. And for some people, they actually like that. So what's life like behind the wheel of this entry-level automatic Vios, the XE? Well, to be honest, it feels like just about every Vios I've driven before, be it the 1300E or the 1.5G. However, I do have to note that the ride is slightly better in this one, mainly because it's on skinnier and higher profile tires. So if you're looking for a comfortable Vios, and the Vios is already comfy as it is, you might want to consider this one actually. Now when it comes to performance, well, it's typical 1300. You have less than 100 horsepower, so it's not going to set the world alight. However, it does offer enough pull for the daily drive. And the last time we drove a 1300 Vios was going up the hills of Tanay, and we were actually pretty fully loaded at the time. So I reckon this one, with even less stuff inside, will do about the same and maybe even slightly better. Now, the gearbox in this car is a CVT, or a continuously variable transmission. Though technically it's not a gearbox because a CVT does not have gears. But before we go into nerd talk, we just want to say that this vehicle has 7 simulated gears, so it has the potential to be very, very fuel efficient. I'd love to tell you how efficient it is. However, Toyota didn't bother putting a fuel economy readout on this one for some reason. It's on the E model already, and I'm wondering, why didn't they put it here? I mean, so how could we probably improve on this XE Vios? Well, one, I wish they would put, at the very least, side mirror adjusters here, because this one doesn't have any. You have to actually stick your hand out the window and push the mirror yourself. I've been struggling to adjust this for quite some time already, and I'm still not comfortable with it, to be honest. And it gets worse when you're on the passenger side, because you either have to tell your passenger to adjust it for you, or you do trial and error where you reach across the vehicle and try to push the mirror out yourself, or get down from the car and try to adjust it, get back in the driver's seat and all that. I don't think anyone should go through that hassle, especially in this day and age. Another thing they could probably add, perhaps to the whole Vios line, is a steering wheel rake adjuster. I'm actually seated pretty close to the dash already because I can't pull the steering towards me. Now, the effect is my arms are all right, but my legs are kind of crammed up the footwell. Now, to solve that problem, you really need a telescopic steering wheel. However, I do appreciate the fact that it has a seat height adjuster, which means even the shortest person can drive this car. Yes, there are major omissions to the spec. Again, the average fuel economy readout is missing, and so are the side mirror adjusters. But Toyota does have a trick up their sleeves, and that's the fact that this car, this very, very entry-level automatic Vios XE, comes with 7 airbags and stability control, not to mention anti-lock brakes. It kind of balances out, especially if you're the kind of person who values safety in spades. If you're a parent considering getting a first car for their child, or someone getting into their first car and they just want the peace of mind of safety, I say Toyota has something going on actually with this XE, because yes, it's basic, but it is one of the safest cars you can get out there today. So what do we think? Well, in most ways I agree with Toyota that the Vios XE is a value pack proposition, especially in the aspect of safety. Now, in this price bracket, there is practically no other car out there with stability control, traction control, and 7 airbags. And for me, that is a huge win for the consumer. And it's Toyota's part of, well, making safety more mainstream and making us more safety conscious. However, there are some parts of this car that makes me feel it's more of an XL than an XE. I mean, you can't even adjust the side mirrors from the inside of the car. And also the exterior is very, very bare bones. But if you're the type of person who just wants an automatic transmission or a car with a big trunk and all that, then the Vios XE is actually worth considering. And you have that Toyota badge, so you could practically service it in any part of the country. So if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page, where you'll see more videos of cars, trucks, SUVs, and the Vios' competitors. Also, we're on social media. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, so don't forget to follow us there too. This is Anton Andres of AutoIndustriya.com, and thanks for watching.